Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she can't stay with me for my brother's wedding weekend? I, 29, female, am a child of divorce. My parents separated when I was 10 years old and have constantly put me in the middle of their relationship. For example, they put the choice on me on where to live at the age of 10. I chose my dad. After my mom moved out, my parents have not seen or spoken to each other since, to the best of my knowledge. As a teen, they would constantly badmouth one another, and I constantly felt like I had to pick sides. It got to the point when I turned 14, I did not have anything to do with my mom. When I turned about 17 years old, I rekindled the relationship with my mom. We had a falling out when I turned 20. We rekindled again when I was 25 or 26. Since then, things between my mom and I have been fine. Dad has always been a stable, reliable parent. Although we have had arguments like any father and daughter, he has always been there for me. As I started getting older, Dad stopped saying negative things about my mother and encouraged me to have a relationship with her, telling me, "You only have one." Fast forward, my dad now lives a 3-hour plane trip from me. I don't get to see him very often. About once a year, my mom lives about an hour away from me, and I see her about once a month. My brother is getting married this month. The wedding is about a 30-minute drive from me. He has his own issues with my mom, however, invited her to the wedding to avoid any drama. My dad is also invited. This will be the first time they have seen each other in almost 20 years. They have actively avoided each other, and neither came to my 21st birthday, in fear the other might be there and start drama. When I received the invite, I called Dad and invited him to stay with me. I was excited because I don't get to see him very often. I wanted him to see my new place, meet my dog, and spend some time with my boyfriend. My mom just invited herself to stay at my place for the wedding. She also invited 2 of her friends to stay and just planned out the weekend. Dad could stay elsewhere, but I don't get to spend much time with him, and I actually invited him to stay with me. Dad is not a big drinker either, am I? The rest of my family is. Dad does not want to stay at the provided accommodation due to the drinking and likely carrying on that goes with it. Mom cannot stay at the provided accommodation as it is with Dad's family. They all had a falling out after the divorce. I want to ask my mom to find somewhere else to stay, so my dad can stay with me. Dad is pressuring me to tell Mom to stay somewhere else. I have not told my mom yet about Dad wanting to stay, or being invited to. I should have when she invited herself over, but I feel like a 10-year-old kid again, too shy and emotional to say anything. My boyfriend has offered to speak to my mom and arrange accommodation for her and her friends, but I feel like I'm almost 30. I should be able to just tell my mom to stay elsewhere. I feel really guilty and upset about the thought of doing this. My brother said he could just disinvite Mom and that would be the end. But he is being dramatic, although trying to look out for me and my feelings. My brother offered to deal with it, but it is his wedding and he should focus on that. Am I the a-hole if I tell my mom to find alternate accommodation?